Henderson, E-R-I-C, last name H-E-N-D-E-R-S-O-N. On today's date, about 8:29 a.m., Regional Dispatch Center received a 911 call for a motor vehicle accident involving a school bus and a SUV. The report was that the school bus was flipped over on its side. So we actually had crews arrive on scene at about 8:30 in the morning. So it was less than a minute after the call was received, and immediately started attending to the kids. There were at least 6 school children on the school bus. There was one minor injury where that child was removed to a local hospital. There were also 2 Dayton Public School kids in the SUV that was involved in the accident, and they were also removed to the hospital. Dayton Public Schools security personnel and transportation personnel responded to the scene rather quickly, immediately notified all parents of the school children, and at this point in time the parents have been notified, and the parents are at the hospital. At least some of the parents are at the hospital, and all the other kids are safe and have been removed from the scene.
What school were they going to?
There were a total of 3 schools that were on the bus. There were a total of 6 kids on the bus. That was 1 was for DECA and 5 were for Longfellow.
Can you describe the injuries that they sustained?
Just minor injuries at this point, so is what I'm being told. So we have officers at the hospitals just verifying, making sure, but right now I'm being told minor injuries. We called out our crash reconstruction unit, so they're on scene conducting an investigation at this time.
What can you tell us about what you know at this point in terms of how the crash occurred?
All we know right now is that the SUV was traveling southbound on Haller and the school bus was traveling eastbound on Weaver. That's all we know at this point in time. We have our crash reconstruction unit out on scene conducting an investigation at this point.
Age ranges of the students? Because it appeared that the 2 that loaded up first, they appeared to be adults, so you're saying they're probably high school age.
Yeah, they were. The 2 that were from the SUV were from Dunbar, so they're in the high school age. The other kids were a little younger, so I don't have exact ages at this time. But I know just 1 child from the bus out of the 6 children that were on the bus, just minor injuries at this point.
And this is a school bus that could hold 72 kids, right? I mean, so
I don't know the exact number of how many, but it was a full-size school bus.
Fortunate that it was only 6 kids inside the bus instead of 72. I mean,
yes, we're fortunate that there were no serious injuries at this point, with this injury. So anytime you're dealing with a school bus and the safety, of the children, we're very fortunate that there were no serious injuries at this point.
You said the response time was only about a minute. Was that, do you have extra patrols maybe around just for traffic safety in general with the, since school's in session and that kind of thing, or is it just,
when officers are not on a call, they're always out performing proactive activities, so that's traffic enforcement and making contact with citizens. So luckily we had an officer that was here immediately. The Dayton Fire Department also responded rather quickly. We had mutual aid. I know we actually had at least 1 medic from Moraine, so we appreciate the partnership from Dayton Fire Department and with our other fire department agencies assisting with this incident.
walk me through the scene. I mean, obviously you have a bus on its side. You're going to have to, at some point, get those kids out. Was somebody helping out? Were neighbors helping out? Was it police?
Did the kids get out on their own?
How did that happen?
To be honest, I don't know at this time exactly how all the kids, made it off the bus. By the time I arrived on scene, all the kids were actually on a separate school bus, so I do not have that information at this time.
I talked to one person who lives in the neighborhood who was concerned about the 4-way stops, the lack of 4-way stops, and the speed of vehicles. Do you have any indication at this point if speed was a factor in this issue?
At this point in time, our crash reconstruction unit's out on scene conducting an investigation. Hopefully they'll be able to basically recreate, what may have led to this crash.
We had heard that there was a report that the school bus caught fire. Is that true? Can you confirm?
That I cannot confirm that at this time.
Good. Is good?
I'm all right.
Good.
Thank you, Eric.
No problem. Thanks.